Taranto. The first things Rieke and Linnea heard as they arrived at the harbor were the deep blasts of the ferry horns and the constant buzz of vespers waving through the streets. "Well, we finally made it," Linnea announced proudly. By now, they had walked about 4 kilometers. It didn't even feel that far," Rieke said with a laugh. Since it was the middle of the week, the harbor was bustling with people heading out to eat or shop. This was the place to find the freshest food around. Rieke watched the boats gliding peacefully across the water. "Should we head straight to the shopping street?" Linnea asked eagerly. "Oh, definitely. Let's go," Rieke replied. The harbor was home to a famous shopping street lined with all kinds of stores and well-known fashion boutiques. Whenever people were looking for something truly special to wear, this was where they came. There was also a unique little shop that sold handcrafted jewelry unlike anything else. "Let's stop there first," the two decided. It had been a long time since they'd last visited, and it took them a while to get their bearings. In the end, they simply followed the crowds until they found themselves at the entrance to the street they'd been looking for. "Hooray!" Rieke cheered. "And there's the shop already," Linnea said. Excitedly, they hurried over and stepped inside. A soothing scent of incense welcomed them. Colorful fabrics, which looked as though they had come from Morocco, were draped overhead, and behind rows of glass display cases, sparkling jewelry caught the light invitingly. "Wow," they breathed in unison. A woman emerged the back of the shop. She looked a little rushed, but she greeted them with a warm smile. "Ciao, my dears. Can I help you?" "Oh, thank you. We're just having a look around," Linnea replied, and the two of them began browsing the displays. There were rings, necklaces, and earrings in every imaginable style. Rieke spotted large elephant-shaped rings made of heavy iron. Semi-precious stones nestle in tiny baskets, and enormous snake chain necklaces that wrapped dramatically around the neck. But there were delicate flower rings as well, along with graceful golden leaves. "I wonder if this pearl necklace is made with real pearls," Rieke murmured, nearly tripping over a wooden monkey sculpture standing in the middle of the room. Linnea examined everything carefully. She actually found a pair of bangles she quite liked. They were gold with engraved leaf patterns. She slipped them on, but they were just a little too wide for her wrists. "I think we'll keep looking," Linnea said, as she took them off again. Rieke and her mother thanked the shopkeeper and continued on their way. "I could have sworn there was another jewelry store somewhere along here," Rieke wondered aloud as they strolled down the street. Linnea suddenly stopped. "Look, this shop is new. The paint still looked fresh. Pearls and gold," Linnea read aloud. Curious, they stepped inside. Once again, they were greeted warmly. "Ciao, benvenute," the shopkeeper said. Rieke couldn't help staring at her outfit. She was dressed entirely in black, wore enormous shoes, and was covered in silver jewelry. Her hair was dyed a striking, vibrant red. "She's certainly one of a kind," Rieke thought, as she and Linnea returned the greeting and began looking around. This shop sparkled just as much as the last one, and the selection was impressive. Most of the jewelry was crafted from natural materials. There were shell earrings, driftwood rings adorned with stones, and necklaces made entirely from recycled plastic. Alongside them were elegant pieces with gold and silver finishes. Then, all at once, Linnea spotted exactly what she had been searching for. Elegant golden bangles hung from a decorative branch. Each was shaped like two gracefully curved fern leaves meeting in the center. Between them rested a large, deep blue gemstone that joined the leaves together, shimmering mysteriously like the night sky. For a moment, Linnea forgot to breathe. "This is exactly what I've been wishing for," she whispered. Rieke admired them as well. "They look absolutely enchanting, almost magical," she said softly. Linnea slipped the bangles onto her wrists and beamed with happiness. They seemed to become part of her, as though they had always belonged there. Even the shopkeeper smiled with approval. "They look wonderful on you," she said, and Linnea blushed. "Come on," Rieke said happily. "Let's get them for you." The shopkeeper carefully placed the bangles into a small paper box. "Thank you very much. Goodbye," she said, handing Linnea the bag containing her new treasures. "Thank you. Goodbye," the two replied cheerfully as they left the shop. But not before Rieke complimented the shopkeeper on her beautiful red hair.